Hi, my name is Daytona Campbell, and for my term project, I chose to do the Ainu People of Japan. Japan is a nation that often presents itself as ethnically homogeneous, but in fact, it has an indigenous population called the Ainu. These hunter-gatherers worshipped nature and animals, spoke a language unrelated to any other, and had unusual customs like tattooing their lip. The Ainu culture extended from about 1400 to the early 1700s. According to one theory, the Satsuman culture developed into the Ainu culture through the influence of the Okhotsk culture. However, this theory is not a proven one. In the mid-1400s, the Japanese extended their influence over southern Hokkaido. Later, they came to oppress the Ainu. To resist the oppression by the Japanese, the Ainu waged in three battles, one in 1457, in 1669, and 1789. The Ainu lost each time. After the defeats, the Ainu fell completely under the control of the Japanese. They remained oppressed and exploited by the Japanese until the Meiji era. In the Meiji era, under the government policy of assimilation, the Ainu were prohibited from observing their daily customs. The Ainu were forced to abide by Japanese daily cultures instead. In 1899, the Hokkaido Aborigine Protection Act was passed. The act primarily aimed to provide relief for the Ainu and help them become engaged in agriculture. However, the act designated the Ainu as former Aborigines and clarified the distinction between the Japanese and the Ainu. In the late Meiji era, with an increasing number of Japanese colonizing Hokkaido from Honshu, the oppression and exploitation of the Ainu was replaced by discrimination against them. Discrimination against the Ainu still remains today and has become a major social problem. The population decreased from 1822 to 1854. The reasons for the decrease were, among others, the spread through the Ainu population of such diseases as smallpox, measles, etc. Also, the breakup of families due to forced labor was a major cause. Physically, the Ainu stand out distinctly from the Japanese as a separate ethnic group. Ainu people tend to have light skin, a stout frame, deep-set eyes with a European shape, and thick, wavy hair. Full-blooded Ainu may have even had blue eyes or brown hair. In the past, the Ainu were proposed to be of Caucasian descent, given their appearance, but it recently has been proved through dental morphology and fingerprinting that the Ainu are in fact Mongolian, not Caucasian. As hunter-gatherers, the Ainu lived off of the land. Common foods included deer, bear, rabbit, fox, salmon, root vegetables, and much more. Unlike the Japanese, the Ainu always cook their food, never eating anything raw. Common hunting weapons included poisoned spears and bows and arrows. They use hunting techniques like chasing herds off a cliff. Ainu means human. The Ainu people regard things used to them or beyond their control as kamoi, or gods. In daily life, they pray to and perform various ceremonies for the gods. These gods include nature gods, such as fire, water, wind, and thunder, animal gods, such as bears, foxes, spotted owls, and plant gods, such as mushroom and mugwort, object gods, such as boats and pots, and gods which protect houses, gods of mountains, and gods of lakes. The word Ainu refers to the opposite of these gods. You can see just by the appearance of the Ainu that traditional Ainu culture is significantly different from Japanese culture. First of all, both men and women kept their hair at shoulder length and wore traditional Ainu garbs. Men, never shaving after a certain age, usually had full beards, and women undergo mouth tattooing to signify their coming to adulthood. One interesting point about Ainu is that it does not have a written form. The language has lived by being passed down from parent to child for countless of years through oral traditions. The lack of a writing system has, of course, hindered the ability of the Ainu to preserve their language after it was banned. Even so, the language has been able to live in tradition of Ainu storytelling, or euchre, the language of which it is mutually understood by all Ainu groups and is known as classical Ainu. In the past, there have been many attempts to place Ainu and Japanese in the same language group, but such claims have been shot down again and again. As of now, there is no widely accepted theory regarding the relationship of Ainu to any other language, and it is therefore known as a language isolate. If you look closely at Japanese and Ainu, it is tempting to conclude the two languages are related. However, there are 4 features of Ainu that mark it as distinctly different from Japanese. The population of Ainu today is still around 24,000, and finding anyone who can speak the critically endangered language fluently is harder. The Endangered Language Project puts the number of native speakers at just 10. If survival in Hokkaido was harsh centuries ago, life for modern-day Ainu in Japan has not been easier either. The Japanese government did not formally recognize the Ainu as indigenous to Japan with a distant language and culture until 2008. Well, the westernization of Japan in the Meiji area from 1868 to 1912 led to greater integration with mainstream Japanese culture. The resolution in 2008 was a small victory for the long-oppressed Ainu people. Despite no statement of rights, no restitutions, and no apology for centuries of discrimination, it began in the early 15th century when Japanese settlers began pushing into Ainu land. The Ainu peoples and the Indigenous peoples of Canada have many similarities. For instance, both Indigenous groups were assimilated by a group of people that thought they were more superior. For the Ainu people, it was the Japanese, and for the First Nations people of Canada, it was the Europeans. They faced the same challenges through the assimilation. By not having proper rights, they felt like they were outsiders. They also used the same hunting methods and had the same love for the earth and for their gods that they believed in. Just like the Indigenous people of Canada, the Ainu are still facing discrimination to this day, which is wrong and needs to stop. Researching and learning about the Ainu people of Japan has given me new knowledge and understandings of the Indigenous people from around the world. I've learned that Indigenous people from different countries and continents can have so many similarities in the way they were assimilated. I truly hope for the greater good that us as people will learn from our mistakes in history and that maybe one day we will have equal rights for all. Thank you for watching my video on the Ainu people of Japan. I hope you learned something and you enjoyed it.